Sean, it is really good to see you. Happy New Year. Today we are talking proactive planning for 2023 and 5 key resolutions. I don't need to tell anybody this, but 2022 was, of course, a brutal year for investors. 2023, sure to be challenging, but there are some steps we can take now to set ourselves up for success. So we're going to talk through some of those resolutions. Number one on your list is rebalance. Why is that?
Well, it's really important to first stick to your strategic plan, right? You have your allocation, maybe it's 60-40 stocks and bonds, stick to that. But what's going to happen over time is in a traditional bull market, your stocks or your equity side of your portfolio is going to increase because stocks typically perform at a higher magnitude than bonds. So over time, if you don't rebalance, as you can see on this right chart here, your stocks are going to start to increase and increase and increase over the years. And you're going to end up with a more risky allocation when really what you want to be doing as you get older, you want to be less risky. So yes, you're doing well. It's increasing, it's growing, but it's becoming more risky vis-a-vis your risk tolerance. So if you reallocate on not a fairly frequent, but a periodic basis, if you get too far outside of your allocation, maybe it's 60-40, reallocate back down. It's going to do a couple of things. You're going to sell high, and you sell your stocks high and buy them back low, and you're also going to keep your risk profile appropriate.
Yeah, an important first step. Number two here, pay down debt and lower expenses. I feel like this is on everybody's financial resolutions.
Well, I think this should be on your resolution every
Yeah.
year. This year is even more important. We've had the Fed raising interest rates, trying to tame inflation and slow down the economy. So, if they continue to increase these rates, your revolving credit, your credit cards, for instance, those rates are going to continue to increase. So, if you have a Christmas balance from, the holidays on your credit card, really try to pay that down. Don't let those interest charges, come up every month. Try to pay that off. So it's because we have rising rates, but it's also because the Fed is trying to slow the economy down, and one of the byproducts of that is going to be higher unemployment rates. So you need to be prepared for. Hopefully, it doesn't happen, but be prepared for potentially not having income in the future.
Okay. And next on your list, number three, keep saving for retirement. This is something that is just really important to be consistent with and stick to, right?
Absolutely. You have your strategic plan and you keep investing for retirement. There's been a few changes made in the Secure Act 2.0 this year, which are wonderful for savers. The increase up to $7,500 for your IRAs and your Roths. That's $1,000 increase. If you're over 50, you can add $1,000 extra to that on an annual savings basis. But really where it's impactful here as in your 401ks, you can put aside $22,500 per year if you're under 50. If you're over 50, bump that up to $30,000 a year.
Wow.
You can now put into your 401k.
Yeah, that can make a big difference. All right, next on your list, update your estate plan / beneficiaries. This is one of those things that I feel like is really easy to do, but something we often overlook.
Yeah, when you set up your accounts, whether it's your 401k or your IRA, you put your beneficiaries in there, and then so many people forget about it. They may go through a divorce, and I can't tell you how many clients I see come through, and we go through their accounts, and I say, your ex-husband or your ex-wife is you're listed as your beneficiary on whether it's your insurance policy or your IRA or what it might be. And they say, oh my gosh, we need to change that. So I think it's really good practice to periodically review your list of beneficiaries and make sure that they're appropriate.
Yeah, and then also just to remind everybody, the estate plan is so much more than just your house.
Oh, it's everything. It's everything you could possibly imagine. It's your house, your investments, your IRAs, your personal property. That could be your cars, your boats, your snowmobiles, whatever it might be. So make sure you've got that in place. And if you don't have a trust and a will, I really recommend doing that.
All right, and last on your list, proactive tax planning. Why did that make your top 5?
Well, if you look at how much money we're spending in Washington, if you look at the budget deficits that we're running, we have to increase taxes in this country at some point in the future. We are still at approximately 100-year lows in our tax rates. So with the ballooning deficit, with the massive spending that we're seeing, this country has to pay its bills, and it can only do that in 2 ways: either cut expenses which we're not seeing, or raise taxes. So I think increased taxes down the road is coming. So try to be prepared for that. One of the things we talk about all the time, Erin, are Roth accounts. You pay the taxes today when they're low. I don't know what they're going to be in the future, but they'll probably be higher. So pay those taxes now, put it into the Roth, and allow that to grow tax-free.
Right. Well said. Well, Sean, I always appreciate talking to you. And I think that working with a professional with some of these things also just adds that extra layer of accountability. So if somebody has any questions about anything that we've laid out today, what's the best way to reach you?
Two ways, Erin. Call us at 603-715-2335. Or if you'd like to go to our website, which is daviswealthmgmt.com, you can hit the Contact Us button there, and you'll be able to put an appointment directly on my calendar.
All right, Sean, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.